Supreme Court rules states cannot remove Trump from ballot for insurrection. In a landmark decision that has sent shockwaves through the political landscape, the Supreme Court has ruled that states cannot remove former President Donald Trump from the ballot for inciting the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6. This decision has sparked intense debate and controversy, with supporters of Trump hailing it as a victory for free speech and political rights, while critics argue that it sets a dangerous precedent for future elections. The ruling, which was handed down in a 6-3 decision, centered on the interpretation of the Constitution's provisions regarding the qualifications for presidential candidates. The majority opinion, written by Chief Justice John Roberts, held that the power to disqualify candidates rests solely with Congress, not with individual states. The court emphasized that the Constitution sets forth specific eligibility requirements for presidential candidates, such as being a natural-born citizen and reaching a certain age, but does not grant states the authority to impose additional qualifications. The case before the court arose after several states moved to remove Trump from the ballot, citing his role in inciting the violent mob that stormed the Capitol in an attempt to overturn the results of the 2020 election. State officials argued that Trump's actions constituted insurrection and violated the principles of democracy, making him unfit to run for office. However, the court's ruling effectively quashed these efforts, asserting that states cannot create their own criteria for disqualifying candidates based on their political views or conduct. The decision has ignited a firestorm of reactions from politicians, legal experts, and the public at large. Supporters of Trump have lauded the ruling as a victory for the First Amendment and the right of all citizens to participate in the political process, regardless of their views. They argue that allowing states to bar candidates based on their speech or actions would set a dangerous precedent that could be used to silence dissent and stifle political opposition in the future. On the other hand, critics of the decision have expressed deep concern about its implications for the integrity of the electoral system and the rule of law. They contend that the court's ruling effectively gives a green light to candidates who engage in dangerous and undemocratic behavior, sending a message that there are no consequences for inciting violence or undermining the democratic process. Some have warned that this decision could embolden future candidates to flout the law and incite further unrest in pursuit of power. The ruling has also raised questions about the broader issue of accountability for public officials and the limits of executive power. While the court's decision focused on the specific issue of state authority to remove candidates from the ballot, it has sparked a broader conversation about the responsibilities of leaders and the mechanisms for holding them to account. Many have called for stronger mechanisms to address misconduct by elected officials and ensure that those who violate the law or the Constitution face consequences for their actions. In the wake of the Supreme Court's ruling, the political landscape is likely to be reshaped in significant ways. The decision has bolstered Trump's standing among his supporters and may embolden him to consider another run for the presidency in the future. It has also highlighted the need for a robust debate about the principles that underpin the electoral process and the safeguards that are necessary to protect democracy from internal threats. As the country grapples with the aftermath of the Capitol insurrection and its implications for the future of American democracy, the Supreme Court's decision will undoubtedly be a focal point for ongoing discussions about the rule of law, political accountability, and the balance of power between the branches of government. Only time will tell what the lasting impact of this ruling will be on the nation's political landscape and the principles that underpin its democratic system.